My family unit, it was a good family unit, but my inner family, we went through a lot of things. So I love telling the story because sometimes people see you and they don't think that you actually go through anything. When I grew up with a severely depressed mom. Her and my dad were married and he was in and out of jail. And they got divorced, she remarried, and she didn't know he was a crackhead. So that was my stepdad. And so these are the things that, and I'll give a shout out to my mom though, because she protected me from that. And I didn't even know until I left the house. Because I could tell when something was wrong. And so I began to be very sensitive to it. And so in that, I didn't realize that it would help me develop and understand people's mannerisms. Like, I can see what you're saying before you even say it. And by the way, side note, like, okay, because I talked to my sister and she was like, and I was like, well, I just say he's a drug addict. She said, no, call that man a crackhead. She said, because.
Call it what it is. No. You was smoking crack, man.
Is going on, man? Welcome back to another episode of Can I Be Real podcast, man. We like to have real conversation with real people about their real everyday life. But man, I am Mazi Millions. As always, y'all want to see me every single time we cut this camera on, man. Across the table from I got my brother with me, Deon the Moteevator. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Deon the Moteevator in the building, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, every time when I wear my all black, when I throw the beanie on, man,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you like
you always tell me I'm like I'm about to go sell a bean pie.
Yeah,
too,
man,
you know what I'm saying, man?
like protest or something.
No justice.
No peace.
Yeah. Hey, we in the building today, man. We got a special guest in the building, man. Entrepreneur, businesswoman, educator, from fashion.
Yeah, give us some humble brag.
You know what I'm saying? Little humble bragging. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got Miss LT, founder of Creative Impact Group. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Good to see y'all.
Yeah,
man, we appreciate you. We appreciate you too. We appreciate you. You came down here to, let us take up some of your time. Hopefully not too much.
No.
Yeah.
You take as much as you want.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
So we first got to meet you through Instagram. Shout out to your team. Is this the one that's shot?
No, that's not.
Okay. I'm gonna say, but you got a real great team. It's crazy because, like I said, like sometimes I don't even read messages. I'll be honest. Like,
I know.
I seen it and I'm like, man, this shit look like an ad. And that message sat for probably like a good week. And I said,
wow,
bro, let me go back to this because it looked long as hell.
Why did you go back?
You know what? I don't know. I really don't know. And that may be a good thing too, though. But I think the way the message started off, of course, like, like some message, if it's BS, it kind of like start off BS. And it said like I'm like, man, let me see what they talking about. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we may be able to make something shake, but
it's legit.
It was legit. But we talked to you too, and just like hearing like what you've done and what you've accomplished, was like, like this was it was meant to happen. Yeah, I don't believe anything like coincidence.
Right.
I feel like that'd be God's way of like, putting stuff around, tap you on your shoulder.
Yeah, for sure.
So I definitely appreciate you. You or your team. Have your team reach out.
Work hard.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah,
I appreciate them.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out Victoria.
You are great. You are great. But
love you.
So tell us a little bit about it, because of course we gotta talk about it on the phone, but let the world know, like, who is Miss Hunt?
All right. Well, I started in fashion. I'm so glad that we got to talk about this, because you all know that it doesn't start off the way that it looks now.
Yeah.
Right.
And so when I started in fashion, I didn't know anybody, didn't have any contacts, didn't have any skill set, formal or otherwise. I knew nothing. But I knew that I had a vision about where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. And ultimately, I wanted to be a buyer in fashion. And so I was like, how can I start? How can I do this? And so I started like looking things up and what people have going on. And I saw a coordinator position on a fashion show. And so I called and I was like, hey, can I sit, on the committee? Can I do it with you guys? And they were like, yeah, sure. Come on. Nobody does that anymore, by the way. And so I sat there and they were going around the table and they're like, okay, so what do you do? Like, what do y'all do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And mind you, I have done nothing. So they asked me and I said, I can get clothes. And they're like, okay. And so I'm like, okay, I got to figure it out. Because I didn't say I could do it at this point. So
when you say like get clothes, like what you mean?
So I started contacting local shops and boutiques and departments and people to actually, we borrow clothes from them. So what they do is like the models will go to the stores or the departments and they'll do a fitting and then we'll bring the clothes to the show. So that was my responsibility.
Got you.
And so again, I didn't know anybody. I have any connections. But what I did know is I knew that if I can talk to you and I can get you, then I got you. And so I knew my skill and I knew my ability and I knew what I was gifted at, and that was a gift to be able to kind of convince people and help them see the bigger picture. And so once I did that, once we had the fashion show, 95% of the clothing I had gotten from all the boutiques and all the departments. The other 5% was from a designer who was already there
on board.
And already working with us. And so from there, it just kind of escalated because the designer then recommended me to other people and said, hey, you know, she does great work. She's great to work with. She's very professional. And so that's how I started getting you know, calls from other people to start doing fashion shows. But it was not quick. Let's be clear.
It takes some time.
I don't think I got like a real job in fashion for like 2 years, you know, working with someone making money. I had to do it voluntarily in order to make sure that I gained credibility and visibility in it. And so that's what I started doing. And that's how I got to that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to add. I want to add. So like on fashion, right? Yeah. So when I be seeing like these fashion shows, and it's all like the top brands, like your Gucci, your Balenciaga, especially Balenciaga.
Yeah.
I think Balenciaga out of all of them, they really kind of like are the loudest. But I'm asking in the sense of like, okay, so what is fashion? And the way I'm asking this is because when I see these fashion shows, the stuff that they wear,
it's wild.
And it's wild compared to like how we know. And my mom they letting them wear it in a fashion show, and they think they're supposed to sell. But
I mean, it's a sense of expression, and it's a sense of it's an art. So it's just like when you see an art piece in a gallery, sometimes people understand it and sometimes people don't. But then from wardrobe, you can take pieces that you understand and that you can grow with and that you like. And so ultimately that's what it's about, is being able to express yourself through the clothing that you wear. And it's art. All of that is art. And that's one thing that I enjoyed, was being able to be creative in that aspect, creative impact, by the way. So part of that. So that's one of the things that I enjoyed during that time. And so through that process, I ultimately was able to be a buyer for a major brand, a major production, should I say, and be able to do the things that I actually thought of. And so that's what I'm doing now, is trying to help people find those steps in order to go from step to step to step, because sometimes the vision is so big that we lose it or that we're stagnant or we're hesitant because we don't know where to begin and where to start. So that's the goal with what I'm doing now and the work that I do.
That's fire. When hearing you talk at first about how you got started, and like you say you didn't know.
No, I didn't.
And you just did it, right? Like
in the wind flapping.
That takes some confidence. Like where did that come from? Did you have someone in your corner growing up saying, hey, you can do anything? Or just over time did you have to develop that confidence and build yourself up to get to that point? Yeah,
well, I will say my family unit, it was a good family unit, but my inner family, we went through a lot of things. So I had to learn how to be hyper independent. I always say, because I love telling the story, because sometimes people see you and they don't think that you actually go through anything. I remember I actually had a friend that I was getting to know, and she was like, and I told her my actual story, and she was like, LT, I thought that you were yachting in San Tropez, backpacking in Europe. Absolutely not. I see Europe. So I know where Europe was on the map. So for me, when I grew up with a severely depressed mom. Her and my dad were married, and he was in and out of jail. And so from there, obviously, for obvious reasons, they got divorced. And then when they got divorced, she remarried, and she didn't know he was a crackhead. So that was my stepdad. And so these are the things that, and I'll give a shout out to my mom, though, because she protected me from that, and I didn't even know until I left the house that all of those things were happening to her. But I knew. But what it caused me to do is be able to understand people and see things, because I could tell when something was wrong, and so I began to be very sensitive to it. And so in that, I didn't realize that it would help me develop and understand people's mannerisms. Like, I can see what you're saying before you even say it, or I can hear what you're saying without you. I'm reading in between the lines. Like, I understand what you're saying. So that actually helped me develop that sense of awareness and hyper awareness into others and into myself as well. So yeah. That was life.
Man, look at that.
And by the way, side note, like, okay, because I talked to my sister, and she was like, and I was like, well, I just say he's a drug addict. She said, no, call that man a crackhead. She said, because...
Call it what it is. No. You was smoking crack, man. God
damn. We caught you.
No, she said, because he says it in his testimony. She said, that's his testimony. He says, I was a crackhead and the Lord delivered me. Yeah. And he was like, how many people do you know that just go clean slate without doing it again? And so that's part of his
so he quit cold turkey.
Yeah, he quit cold turkey. Yeah, so he doesn't. He don't crack no more.
Man, that's
but good job.
When you talk about that crack though, like, and not to harp on it, but like that crack in the 80s, and you know, it did a number.
It was like weed.
Yes, it was just like weed.
It was just like, I'm gonna hit this.
And that's why it was so acceptable. I talked to a guy that's like 56. And he was saying when he first got introduced to it back in the 80s, like you said, it was like weed. It was like a party drug. Like, hey, you want to smoke a little crack? Like, yeah, I got you. But what? This pipe is crazy.
Hey,
I was okay. Go ahead.
Hey, can you imagine that now in 2025 though? Like, you just at a party, just doing this, and then like, hey, you want to hit this pipe? It's like, what?
Yeah, that's what they was doing, and it was
but that's really what they were doing, and it was normal, man. But the damage that it did to our community, you know what I mean? It was crazy. But to see and hear you say, like, he is off cold turkey, you know what I mean? And through, of course, like you said, I guess he's in church because you said his testimony through God, right? How big of a part does faith play in your journey?
It's everything. I'm glad you asked that, because actually within, I have a starter guide for people to actually go through, because I wanted it to be things and processes that were easy and simplistic that you could do now. And so one of the things is your 5 core values and what that is. And for mine, it is definitely faith. Like, I love the Lord. I love me some Jesus. Just that's the God I love. And so I can't imagine living in a world by myself and not having a foundation or a comfort of something or someone who is bigger than me, who has created me and understands the ins and outs of me and the world that I'm living in order for me to be able to maneuver in it successfully. So I have to do that. It's just it's not a choice. I don't have a choice. I don't know how to not do that. Even in the things that I do and the words that I speak, it just is innate, because it's anything that you put in your eyes and you see and you hear, like, it's automatically going to come out of your heart. And I just want to be able to do that out of the pureness, because I love helping people and I love seeing people change. And I really enjoy that the most. And if I am here and I'm not here to serve people, I'm not here to do things in order to make people better, then what is my purpose here at all? I don't want to just be here for myself.
So what do you feel like that purpose is? And when did you feel like you discovered that purpose?
The purpose. So I'll say this. It's kind of, well, I will say a part of it is in the work that I'm doing now. So it's being able to help people uncover their purpose in the world. So I'm really a connector of that. So when I'm talking to people, or when I'm having sessions, or when I'm having clarity calls, that we call it, I'm asking them, so tell me about yourself. What is it that people see in you? What is it that they ask you about? What is it that you see yourself doing? So it's really unpacking that in order to see something in yourself that you may not have seen before, and discover something that you didn't realize before. So really connecting the dots for you in that way. So I absolutely enjoy that, because when it's connected, and I actually posted this on Instagram. I was literally just sitting at it was happy hour with one of my girls I know. And we hadn't seen each other in a very long time. And so she didn't know what I was doing and what was going on. And so I told her, and I was like, yeah. And so we're sitting down, and she was like, oh my God, like this is so good. I feel so rejuvenated. And she was like, I can't pay you though, but I appreciate this. And like we made a whole post about it. And just seeing that, now she has gone from like being kind of stagnant because she was doing so well on YouTube and doing so many things, and she got discouraged. Because it was during the time when it wasn't big and people weren't making money off of it yet. And had she stayed, she would have been one of the ones that broke through. And so she stopped. And then so we had that conversation, she began it again, and now she's flourishing and she's beginning to do the things that she should have been doing in the first place. So it's kind of really, that's why I say rediscover, because you already know, or you've already done it before. But it's about really seeing what it looks like now and giving you the tools and the steps to just move past your own fear.
That's crazy too, because I kind of had like this same experience pretty much. So I did YouTube before doing a podcast. I was doing YouTube for probably like 3 or 4 years prior. And in doing it, I was having fun. I'm young though, but I'm having fun doing what I do best.
Great time.
Yeah, great time. Time. Had a time. But I was always more still purpose driven. So even though I was having more fun, in the back of my mind, I always had like a certain disconnect because I still feel like, dang, like I don't feel like I'm doing what I should be doing. And so going through that journey, over time, I started to feel myself like dialing back from like just, my normal content I was doing. And so I started to feel like, okay, like, dang, like, okay, I know if I transfer over though, like all the accolades and all of the views, all of the attention, it's probably going to drop. It's probably going to drop.
Because it was going to be different than what
be different from what I was normally doing.
Oh, okay.
So I changed over and I'm doing my whole rebranding. And of course, a major shift happens. And I'm like, dang, bro, I probably messed up. And for a minute, I just stopped. Just pulled completely back.
Because that discouraged you.
Yeah. It did. It definitely did. And I went through like a bad depression moment too. Went through bad depression. I think the one thing that kind of really pulled me out, I had a friend that invited me to the gym, and I started going to the gym like consistently. And I kind of just found like my break in that.
Yeah, I see you on the internet. Why you be on there with your chest out all the time? What is that? Did I lie?
Hey, look, like I be telling them sometimes, man, take your shirt off, man. I'm telling them, man, and it's
take
crazy, your shirt off, brother. They need to see.
Okay.
They need
so
to see.
it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy in that because like with that, right? So that's when I started to find like my break, and it did lead to me doing overall what I wanted to do, because this time we doing a podcast now. But I'm starting to find like my voice, because in my head I always have like this thing to help people, to impact. So I found like, okay, like dang, like if I come over here and hey guys, I think y'all should be better people. I think you just find that motivation within yourself. Nobody would listen to me. Like it would just go over people's head, so they'll scroll past it. But when I come in there with my shirt and I say like
to entice the people,
and I'll be like, man, like you really finna lose that life because of A, B, C, and D. I learned that I had to change my tune and still keep my message, but I would change my tune. So
messaging is everything.
Messaging is everything. So with you doing what you do best, how have you found your tune or way to really impact a certain
demographic of people?
Yes.
So what I realized is, like my story that I told you guys, being able for them to see where I am now, but where I came from. It makes a difference when people know and see you. So I say it's a difference between vulnerability and transparency. So if I'm transparent, visualize it as a house. So walking around the house, look through the windows, and you can see the things within the house, right? But if I'm transparent, then are vulnerable. If I'm vulnerable, then I'm opening up the door and allowing you to come into the house, and I'm showing you the rooms. I'm showing you where the things are. So that's what I try to do when I'm speaking to people and when I'm meeting with people, when I'm speaking or doing conferences or doing workshops, because people don't get change if they think that you've always been this way, or if they think that you've always made it, or if they think that you always had a support group, or you always had whatever. But they relate and they become more vulnerable when you are. And that allows greater healing and greater impact in the work that we're doing. And that's what makes the biggest difference. Because I would be doing a disservice if I pretended as though I was something that I wasn't, or that I hadn't gone through the things that I went through, because those are the things that shaped me and the things that made me who I am. So the biggest thing is being able to give that vulnerability in order to allow people to feel safe and feel comfort. And I do that without even intentionally doing it. I just had someone that I spoke with yesterday, because I had another appearance. And afterwards, we ended up talking, and he was like, I really appreciate it. This just felt like a really safe space. And I normally would not even give that or say that, or say stuff like that. And so I take pride in that, and I don't take it lightly, because for me, and it should be for anybody, if somebody comes to you and it's like, hey, like, I need help with this, or I need an opinion on this, that is an honor and that is a privilege to be able to be that person that someone has chosen in order to have that conversation with, and in order to do that with. So that makes a difference to me, and so I don't take it lightly.
As a man, right? Because we're talking about vulnerability. Sometimes it's hard for us men to be vulnerable, because, you know, for me, speaking for my own self, it's like, if I'm too vulnerable, then I feel like someone will use my vulnerability against me, right? When you're working with clients like myself, like, how could you assist me in being vulnerable or open up to be vulnerable so I can get past myself to get the help that I need?
Yeah, it's just a step-by-step process, though. So that's part of what we talked about the vision being too big. So that even comes with being vulnerable. So if I think, oh my God, I have to expose all of these things all at once, then I'm not going to do it. So it's taking that one step. Where am I the most comfortable exposing, or where am I the most comfortable being vulnerable? And then taking that one step in order to impact the next, and then impact the next, and impact the next. And then the next thing you know, you're opening up in ways that you didn't know that you would before, because you're comfortable.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is getting comfortable.
It's a comfort.
Because for me, I know for a while, I used to be, like, when I was younger, I would just tell everything. Yeah. And then the older I got, I'm like, well, let me hold back a little bit. What made you stop? I think just being judged. If I could be honest, like, I'm the type of person that now I'm at a point to where I really don't care. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever people think about me, they think about me anyway. And that doesn't matter. That's your business, because my business is my business. So if you say, Deon, I think you're this, I think you're that, then you have to deal with that. I don't, because I know who I am, right? Yeah. But sometimes I feel like if I expose too much information, it can expose some things from my past that I don't want to, like, relive. And for me, it's like, once I'm over something, because like I heard Jay-Z say, like, you go through some hard times in your life and we think like that's the hardest thing we ever went through, until something else comes and it's like, oh damn, I thought that was hard. Like, this is hard. But it's like, once I'm past that, I just want to leave it where it is and be past it. You know what I mean? But for me, it's like, I don't want to be too vulnerable, because I don't want to open up those old wounds.
So for yourself, because you would feel it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So then that just sounds like a process that, if I'm being honest, that you still need to heal from. Because
help me heal then. Help me heal. Help me heal now.
We get live sessions.
Don't just leave me out there. You know what I'm saying? Help me heal.
No, because if you think about it, at this point, and I have to think about it for myself too, because there are still wounds and things that I have to relive as well. But that actually is helpful, because that means, oh, there's still work I need to do in this area. So when you feel that way, and when you know that, like, I don't want to reopen that, I don't want to relive that, then you know that that's an area that you still need to heal in. It's not because of anybody else's judgment or because of what anybody else would think, because if you didn't care what they thought, then it wouldn't matter.
Let me ask it. What is it?
Don't send me an invoice now. Dang.
That 1,000.
Here you go.
How you know the
But what is that? what is, like, what does healing look like? Because especially from the outside in, right? We see a bunch of podcasts, you know, all these therapists are coming out and they saying like, oh, you need to heal from this, you need to heal from that. Like, what does healing actually look like? Like, what is it like? If I went through something traumatic, I got parents issues, maybe my parents in past already. Like, what does healing look like? Is that like when the thought come, I just move past it, or when the thought comes, I sit in it? What happens if I sit in it too long and I start to feel as if that can possibly consume me?
Yeah.
So what does
like overwhelm you?
Yeah. What is a process to healing? Like, what does that really look like?
Okay. So, and let me say this, I'm not a licensed therapist though. Okay.
Yeah, no, you good.
But I have been through the healing process myself. And just for the record, I know we haven't discussed this because I've been divorced. I was married for a very, very long time. And so that's actually something that I have had to heal from and had to learn to heal from, because we were high school sweethearts. And that's somebody that you live your life with and lived it out with. And so...
Do you have kids?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Oh shoot!
That's London.
Hey, how you doing?
That's my daughter.
Oh my gosh, I thought that was your sister.
No.
Oh shit!
Everybody says that.
Damn.
No, she just had her birthday Thursday. She's 18.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy 18th birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so during that process, and if I'm being real, I also helped her through that process as well. Going through, and she has her own testimony, and she says it. She actually went to a mission trip in Jamaica and shared her testimony about the things she went through too. But it was depression and being able to actually seek out therapy, though. Let me be very clear. I'm an advocate for therapy because it gives you tools that you would not know.
Yes.
If you don't know, you don't know. And if you're trying to work through something and you're trying to figure out how to work through it, how are you going to work through it if you don't have the tools or you haven't learned the tools? I would just utilize them to get the tools that I need in order to get through the process. And for me, I actually, it's not all at once again. I always think about every single process as a step. Just one step at a time. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take one step. That's literally all it is. So just one step of me looking at what life was and then mourning that. Looking at what life is and then kind of mourning that because it's not the same as it was before. And then looking at the future and then gaining a bit of hope from that, but still mourning it because it's not the future that I thought I was going to have. So it's actually living in where you are and what it looks like today. You don't have to go through the process of where you're going to be in a month. You don't have to go through the process of where you're going to be in a week. But it's like, where am I today? What am I okay with feeling today? Because you have to feel it, just for the record. Because if you bottle it up, it's going to come out in another way. It could be whatever. It could be sex, drugs, partnerships, codependency. It could come out in all of those ways. So you have to learn how to actually go through it and live it and be in it. But just moment by moment, it's not an overnight process. It's just a one by one, step by step process. You look like are you okay?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not saying I was against therapy, but I always had, and I joke about it too. I always say a gym membership is cheaper than therapy.
Yeah. It is.
It is. But I've always used that as my way of dealing with whatever I'm feeling at that moment. You know, it's kind of hard to, be sad when you got 100 pounds sitting on your chest. It's kind of hard to, feel two pains at once. Like if I can feel some physical pain instead of doing things some people do drugs, some people drink alcohol, some people cut themselves. Instead of feeling those pains, I'll feel physical pain in the gym and use that to, I guess now, somewhat mask whatever I may be feeling on the inside.
Try to cope with it.
Yeah, pretty much just transfer it over.
Yeah.
So don't know if that's the best thing to do. Don't know if that's the most healthy thing, but I've found it to where it is a consistent thing that I've done. So when I'm not in the gym, I do feel off.
For sure.
I feel super off because I don't know if it's because I've created a routine and a habit for myself, or if I really have used the gym to probably brush over some problems or some issues.
Yeah, for sure. And I only say that just because of what you just said. If you feel it when you're done, then that means you haven't worked on it, or you haven't healed from it, or you haven't had a process in order to get through it. So that, yes, momentarily, it's great. I think everybody should work out, honestly. Like, it's great for mental health, just in general. But after your workout, or even if I'm being honest, because I've done this, even while I'm working out, I actually rehearse the things that are happening or have happened because it helps me release it easier as well. And I've literally been on the treadmill jogging and crying before because I had to get through it, and it was helping me get through it. And then when I had to sit and just be silent with myself, I had to sit and be silent with myself and actually get it out and actually be honest with myself about why I feel this way, what happened, what's going on with me, and just going through the process within myself. And it made a huge, huge difference because you have to. Like I said, it'll come out in other ways that you don't want it to come out, or you'll lash out in other ways that you didn't think you would lash out, and you'll become a person that you didn't want to become.
I think I've masked, not masked, but I think I have buried a lot of issues for so long, especially like, and then compressed them. I feel like the top is on super tight. I probably haven't cried in probably like 5 years, 3 to 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to cry in you.
Yeah, I ain't crying.
Oh, it's gonna be real heavy.
I ain't crying like 3 to 5 years, and I've had some. I've had to like to do my best to work on my emotions, but that's never been like my strong suit. Even though I feel everything, like I feel
like you're an empath.
Yeah. But I'd rather implode than explode because I feel like I can damage so many things if I was to ever let it out.
That's why it takes good to have an unbiased person that you can give that to instead of the people that you don't want to put that on or you don't feel like you want to burden. So that, honestly, that's the gift of having somebody, I don't want to say that you don't care about, for sure. But you're just like, here, you can have it. Because I don't want to give it to anybody else. I'm going to give it to you. So that's the benefit in itself. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to go for years and years and years. You can go for a good month, once a week or something. And then start there and see how you feel. And then and having a good therapist makes a huge difference too, by the way, and who you choose. And choosing someone that aligns with what you want to heal and where you want to be, and the tools that you need to use in order to be the best person that you can be.
I heard you say something about going within. You was like, sometimes you got to go within.
You right, okay.
I'm listening, you know what I'm saying? But for me, like, I almost went through, like you said, like you went through a divorce. I didn't go through a divorce, but I almost like lost my whole family. And during that time, that was like a hard time for me. And I started going to therapy, right? But going through that whole process, it just made me sad. And like Mazi was saying, I don't want to feel that. Like so I stopped going. But what helped me to the point of going within was I started meditating. And during my meditations, it was like I'm really sitting by myself with every single thought, and I'm like having to deal with those thoughts. And for the people out there that like meditation really, really helps. And it helped me more than therapy. Because I was literally able to take all my negative thoughts, all my bad thoughts, and put them in a box in my head and throw them out the window or throw them out the door, and then just let that box fill up with new thoughts and new thoughts, good thoughts.
A good therapist could tell you that. Did you not have a good therapist?
So I'm going to be honest. Every therapist that I had, they made me feel sad.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
And I didn't want to feel sad.
You don't want to feel sad.
My first therapy session with one therapist that I had at the time, she made me cry within like the first 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was like, so what you're going through right now?
Afterwards, you didn't feel better?
No.
You just felt
I just felt sad. I don't like feeling sad. That's one emotion that is hard for me to deal with is sadness. Like, I can deal with anger. I can deal with every other happiness.
Yeah.
I think
but that's sad. I can't deal with sadness. I don't like feeling sad.
That may be a man thing. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's more. Yeah, I'm gonna say I think it's a man thing. I don't think men want to really just feel that sadness because, and I'm speaking for me, I feel like we have so much on us that I don't think we got the room to. It's just one
additional thing. Yeah, I was like, I don't need that too. Yeah. And
then you gotta think about this too for black men in this generation. And this is a question I want to ask you too. Like, as a black man, like we get on the internet, we hear so many black women saying how they don't feel protected by black men and they don't feel like we uphold them and we uplift them. And that's on social media. But in the real world, we're raised by our black mothers, our black aunts. We have black wives. We have black girlfriends, black sisters that we love and protect in real life.
Yeah.
But to get on the internet and hear that message being pushed out to black women, that makes black men, in my opinion, not want to be vulnerable, not want to express themselves. When it's like, man, are y'all living in reality? Like, we really do love and protect y'all.
That's why I say that the social media isn't real.
Yeah.
Because it's all about pushing an agenda, and it's not an agenda that's for us anyway.
Yeah.
So what we have to know and what we have to look at is our reality when we're outside of social media, the people that we're around, the community that we have. And to be honest, I don't disagree. I understand that we see that all the time. But for me, I'm like, oh, that's not real life. Because if that was the case, I would think every black man is with a white woman. But every black man that I see is not with a white woman. I see them with black women. And so and that's part of the reason why I have a love-hate relationship with social media, just because I feel like it exploits people too, and it gives you a mentality that's false, and that is not a reality. And so I understand exactly what you're saying, but it's not true on either end, because it's made to pin black women against black men and black men against black women, and that's not where we are and what we do. It's all systemic, and that's ultimately where it stems from.
So when it comes to like the work that you do, right, especially like with that, 'cause I believe there's like a lot of shadow work, a lot of mental work that a person has to do. What is like a common issue that you find that people have when they're trying to break over to that other side and really find like their purpose, their goal, their vision? Like, what is a common issue that you feel like you see? Fear?
Yeah.
Fear of what?
Fear of judgment, fear of what other people think. Like, so many times, and I'll give you an example. I had someone that I was working with, and she had, I think it was a good social media following like a little while ago, kind of like the same situation you had in a way. But she had a good social media following, but she's like, I'm not the same person that I was now. And she was like, so I don't want to like use like that platform because I don't want them to see me the way that I am now, because I'm different. And I said, why? And she is like, well, because they'll think this. And I said, then you're not ready. Then you don't really want it. Then you're fearful right now. So we got to start there and work on that before you can start doing anything. And so that's majority of the things. The reason why people don't start is because they're so afraid of judgment from other people. And I didn't realize, and shout out to my sister, because she is my biggest hype man, that I didn't realize that that is actually a gift that I have, is not being concerned, because I don't have an awareness of like what people think or what they're going to say. I just do what I want to do, and I just live my life. Like on my platform, I say living life and giving advice, honey, because what are we doing here? So
I know that shit, right?
Humble brag, you know what I'm saying? Humble brag.
So yeah, but ultimately, that is what I've noticed, is that people are just fearful. I'll be honest, I have to be sensitive to that, just because when it's something that you don't really deal with or that you don't really struggle with, you have to be sensitive to other people's struggle. And you have to be like, okay, so what does that actually look like for you? And I have to actually put myself in their position, put myself in their shoes, so that I can be helpful and be able to be utilized in that moment to help them break through from where they are now. So yeah, it's a lot of fear. People fear people more than they fear God. It's insane to me.
Damn.
That's a bar.
That's a real. I'm like, I would never fear a person more than I fear being great, because ultimately that's what it is. You're putting them in the place of your greatness, and when you can actually go and do so much more if you didn't care, and if you weren't worried about what other people thought, and if you were okay with being yourself.
I said, and it's crazy you said that. I literally heard listen to a podcast on the way here actually, and the person was pretty much talking about the same thing, like why are so many people like stuck in like a incarcerated mindset? And it was saying that like people are too worried about what other people opinion is of them, and the reality is that people really don't give a fuck about you.
No.
So it's like it really be like a mind thing. Like we in our head we think like, dang, like they gonna be saying this, and in reality
they have too much going on.
They got too much going on. They got their own bill. You know, Uncle Sam and they don't too. Like, hey man, so it's but somewhere we've created a fear that, dang, if I post this or if I create this or if I start this business, then somebody gonna see me. And if it fail, then it mean I done failed in front of the eyes of this
Everybody's
person.
watching.
Everybody's watching.
Yeah.
So like, how do you navigate somebody through that? Or do you have like framework that you give them? Or how do you, like, what's your guidance almost? Because you've done a lot from the fashion to where you are now.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it's a lot of self-work that you have to learn on your own journey. So like, is there frameworks you give somebody to help them navigate through that?
Yeah, well, it depends on the person as well. I've said this before, but it's not a one size fits all at all.
Cookie cutter kind of.
No, not at all. So it depends on what they specifically need to work on. Because some people have a fear of other people. Some people have a fear of success. Some people have a fear of failure. They don't have anything to do with
Go
else.
to that fear of success though.
Fear of success?
Yes.
Because it's like when I get there, everybody's watching and everybody's looking at me. So ultimately, what I think is the fear of success is ultimately the fear of failure. Anyway, because if everybody's watching me and everybody sees me and I'm successful and I hit this pinnacle, then I always have to stay here. Like I can never go below where I am now. So that makes a huge difference in the mindset that you have when you're getting there. Just like y'all need to think about that, right?
Yeah, I definitely think about that. Yeah, because like I said, I've done a lot of stories you talk about is stuff that I pretty much experienced at some point. Like I've done a lot in like the YouTube space, made money from it, everything. And then I got to, like I said, I got to a point to where it stopped. And then I had to go back to getting a job. And so like my mind while working like a 9 to 5 after being like fully entrepreneur was like, it was like the biggest, like my mind was like out of there.
Yeah.
Because like, damn, bro, like, this is not where I planned this shit to go. But at the same time, it's me battling my mind of like, bro, like I know it's something different I'm supposed to be doing though. But I'm still comfortable here, or we're comfortable here because I was on this pinnacle. I was on this platform, you know, I was at this height. And so now I'm feeling like I have to step down from it. And now the world has to see me stepping down.
It's a journey.
And it's a journey. It's like trying to navigate myself mentally. Like even doing a podcast, it's like, in my mind, I'm like, damn, bro, like you was doing this. I could have been like, we were doing streaming before streaming what it is now. Like, so I'm like, damn, bro, I could have been there. I could have been there.
Yeah.
I think too, we worried about opinions of people that's not trying, because those are the only people that's talking.
You better say that.
The people that's not trying, the people that's actually actively doing it, they're applauding. It's like, oh snap, he did that. I'm motivated by it, but it's like, we worrying about the people that's sitting. Because if you got time to scroll on Instagram all day and judge people, like, they not doing nothing. So
what are you doing?
What are you doing? So like their opinions don't matter. And I think that's the step that people got to get over. Like, only take opinions from people who doing it. I tell my kids all the time when they getting advice, I'm like, cite the source. Who said it? If they talking to you about college and they didn't go to college, then I'm sorry, but they can't tell you.
How are you going to teach somebody something you ain't doing?
I think it's different now, though. I honestly think it's different now. I feel like so many people, it used to be that way. It used to be like you could, and it's not all.
No,
but you used to be able to go to people that were doing it, and they would be able to like champion you through the process.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
I don't think it's like
it's
that no
like
more.
they gatekeeping.
I think they
holding
are
back.
gatekeeping.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Of course, you know everybody gonna say the game is meant to be sold, not told. But at the same time, I think people are so afraid of losing their spot to where if they feel like they gotta kick your ladder to make sure they can stay up here, then they will.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, because I just had this conversation with someone else. I feel like it's more prevalent in the Black community, if I'm being real, because when you see, let's say, Indians, Chinese, whatever, opening.
We just had this conversation. We literally just had this conversation.
Because it's real. Together. They do. And so what they will do is when like one of them opens a store, it's Indian. When one of them opens a store, let's just say a store, and they learn something, or they learn how to find something. They literally, even if they don't like you, they will
pass it on.
They will pass it on to you so that it stays within their community. But to be fair, even to Black people, like we said earlier, it's been so much systemic oppression that we have been conditioned to think that only a few of us can make it at a time, and we can't all do it together or the boat will tip. But not realizing that we can all commune together and do it together in order to prosper. And we're also the only community, also to be fair, that anytime we build something, it's intentionally torn down. And so we have to be aware of that too, and then have the correct things in place in order to combat that as well.
And to your point though, like, I think that's where a lot of the fear comes from too, because it's like, we know we're great. And we know we can be great, right? But it's like, I don't want to get Black Wall Street great just to get bummed and tore down.
It's crazy, bro. It's a quote that says, "The nail that sticks out gets hammered."
Yep.
The nail that sticks out get hammered.
Oh.
So
that's like, I had a visual of that. That's real.
The nail that sticks out gets hammered. I think it is tough being still being Black in America, especially a Black man in America, and trying to build something. I think that's why it is so. And I'll take it to this point. My parents, they want the best for me. I'll say that. They always want the best for me. But I think because of what you said, like, I think back in the later age, the later time frame, they were so stuck on, like, hey, just get you a good job, go to college, get you a good job, get your house, lay low, retire.
Don't make too much noise.
You better lay low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you come out and you try to build, like Black Wall Street, it's almost like we're not prepared for that. We're only taught and prepared to work for somebody. And I always found it challenging between trying to figure out, for lack of better terms, who I really was, because on one hand I have people that saying like, hey, like, this is the way, especially for us. Like, you get you a good job, you done won. But on the other side, it's just like, that seemed like the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? That seemed like that's what everybody do. Like, and I've always been the black sheep because of that mindset. Because
like go against the grain.
I'm always going against the grain.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm battling myself mentally because, like, hey, you know what they said now. You really supposed to be laying low, but it's always another part of me that's like, but if I do that, then who breaks that cycle? Hey. Where does it get broke at? Yeah. If I keep going back to this, then who opens up that gate and says, who's that? Because if I look at it like this, what if Harriet Tubman would have just stayed in her place?
Yeah.
Who would have?
I think, but it take courage to be that sacrifice. Like, somebody got to be that sacrifice,
and I don't mind being that sacrifice.
Yeah.
So you don't mind?
Tough. No.
Okay.
No, I'm a crash.
You're like, that's the only option I ever have.
That's the only option because I believe that honestly speaking, I feel like I'm too creative for a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm too bold. I'm too outspoken in a way. If I feel like something gets too routine, I'm going to break it somewhere. I don't do good working for people. If I feel like I'm doing the same thing like a robot over and over and over and over and over, I know exactly what I'm going to do today. I'm going to break that routine intentionally somewhere. I don't like it. I do not like, because I feel too controlled. I feel too like trapped if I can't be creative.
Restricted.
Now, don't get me wrong. I do have a routine. Yeah. But I don't want to feel like my life is already planned for me. Yeah. My next 5 years is already wrote down. Like, okay, work this job. You get your few little PTO hours.
Get your little promotion.
If you can. You may or may not move up, but most companies, whoever's in them higher up spots, they already there. Yeah. And they not letting it go. They gonna die there at 90 years old. So it's like you stuck.
Yeah.
You really are stuck. And it's like, I don't want to be stuck.
I feel that.
If I have to find the little underground railroad, I may get caught a few times. They may have to catch you, boy. But eventually, again, I'm gonna take.
You back on.
I'm back to action. So it's like that's always been my mentality, and I've always championed that. I've always been the black sheep.
That person.
The black sheep.
I'm here for it. I'm all about, honestly, entrepreneurship. And even if you work for somebody, I feel like you should have that mentality just in general. I know for me, I had to make that decision September the 4th of this year. Either I was going to do it for myself or I was going to give them my time continually. And so I had to make the decision.
Was that scary for you?
No.
Okay.
Just because I didn't do it on a whim or haphazardly. It was a year and I was like, I'm still here and I know I should have been gone months ago. So that's why it took a while. And I had a plan and I have a vision. So I don't just be out there doing stuff, but actually have a plan and a vision of where you're going and what it looks like and how you're going to pay your bills. Let's be clear.
Yeah, that's the number one. Because a lot of people just jump out like, hey, look, I'm going to go and I'm out.
And I'm gone.
I'm going to say this though. I think it's crazy because huge Marvel fan, Marvel and DC fan.
You are?
Oh, very huge.
Okay.
Huge. I'm a kid at heart. I'm really a nerd. I'm a nerd, honestly. But it's a quote that a lot of people overlooked in the first Iron Man movie. This is like right after he got captured and he came back. He's building his first Iron Man, well, technically the second Iron Man suit. And he's talking to his AI. Ironic. He's talking to his AI and they're going through like all like the little systems, the testing systems, make sure the suit works. And he's getting ready to, to fly for the first time in the new suit he built. And so his AI's telling him like you need to be precaution. Then he tells the AI, he says, sometimes you have to run before you can walk.
Oh, wow.
And it went over a lot of people's head, but it's like, that's crazy because sometimes you do have to.
That's real.
I feel like you have to run before you can walk. I feel like if you don't jump, then you stay where you at. Now, if you jump, it's a possibility it may not be a good jump for you. But it's also a possibility
that you can fly.
That you can fly. And the only people that's telling you that you can't fly is people that's on the ground with you.
Yeah.
When you done seen somebody else fly, you see some people up there. So it's like the only people that's telling you that you can't is like,
That's why I say, why not me?
Yeah. Why not me?
Why not me? Yeah. All these other people out here doing this.
You can do it too.
Why not?
That's what I look at. So when I was 20, I'm 40. So, but when I was 29, I worked at a company. I moved up I was third in the company, superintendent. And I was the first black guy to do that. And my uncle had been at that company for like 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they put me up on this pedestal like, oh, you the first black guy, blah, 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 right? And I kind of got like, man, but it's more to life than this. And I quit that job on a whim, like he's saying, running. No real money saved up. Only thing I had was my 401k. But what I learned in that was like, if you don't do it, like you just suppress yourself and who you are, and you'll become someone that you don't like. And I think that's the worst thing in the world is to not like who you are, like not love me. And that's the person I was turning into, right? But you said something. You said you had a plan. You had a like for those people that's like us, that's like, shoot, I'm just gonna run and jump. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just gonna do it anyway, right?
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer? Like which is it like, okay, plan it out, make sure you have this amount of money saved up for this and that, or is your advice is like, nah, man, like do what's best for you. If you feel like running with no money saved up and just go out there and get it, do that. Like how would you direct me as a client if I came to you and was like, look, I hate my job. I want to start this t-shirt business. Like
everybody got a t-shirt business.
I got 50. I do t-shirts. So I had to say that. Shout out to Think Big. You know what I'm saying?
Think Big.
Go buy you a t-shirt. I got $500 saved up.
Yeah.
But I hate my job, and if I don't do this, I'm gonna die. Like I really felt like if I didn't quit this job, I may die here. Like, and I don't want that. Like, how would you direct me as a client?
Well, I always say have a plan, right? But God be laughing at our plans anyway. Okay. So for real. So it's like you can have a plan. It don't have to be a perfect plan. What I say is take 70. If you have 70%, go with 70%. You're not always going to have 100. Well, you won't have 100. And then as you go with the 70%, then the 30 will come as you go. So that's literally what the process looks like, because you will not have all the answers. Even with people who are out there and they overplan and they overthink and they're like, okay, I got to have this. And those are usually people who don't do nothing.
Damn, I made that post. I literally made a post on Instagram. I said people plan themselves out of their success because they try to cover every fall that they think they gonna run into, and they end up never doing it at all because you're trying to cover too many.
It ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
it won't. And ultimately, which is funny because people don't even know what they're doing when they're doing this. They're actually operating in faith. It's literally what an entrepreneurial journey is. It's a faith walk. It's all it is, because you never know. Like, I have no idea like what's gonna happen next week, or if this is gonna pop off, or what I'm thinking is gonna happen the way that I thought, or something incredible could happen and I didn't even know that was gonna happen either. So you're literally walking in faith, and if you're okay with that type of journey, then go ahead. Why not? But I would just say have some type of plan, just any type of plan, and then being able to look at, hey, how much do I have here? What do I have that I need to pay for here? What do I need to do here? And at least starting somewhere, because I don't suggest jumping out and just doing it on a whim and you just winging it. So that is always my suggestion for sure. And one thing I even want to say with that is, I feel like sometimes, just like you were talking about, you know, your parents set you up to get a job, go to college, do all of these things, white picket fence, all of that stuff. I always knew that everybody has talents and gifts. You're not just supposed to utilize one talent and one gift. Why in the world would we have so many of them if we're only supposed to use one? So that's why I went from fashion, and then I went to teaching people, and then I went to doing while I was already doing events and doing all of these things, because in it, all of it is part of your journey and the things that you need in order to ultimately get to where you're supposed to get. Because later on down the line, it's like, oh, I did that because I needed this. The things you think are insignificant are actually the most significant things that you needed throughout that journey. It actually makes me think about, I don't know if you all have read The Alchemist, but if you haven't, you should. He is searching for this treasure, and ultimately, by the end of it all, it is exactly where he left. So it was exactly where he already was. So it's the things that are within you already that are the treasure to help you build where you need to go in the the journey that you're on.
I need to read that. No, that's hard. That's hard.
That's
you know, I ain't gonna charge you for that.
No.
Yeah, don't charge.
Creative Impact Group.
Yeah.
What is Creative Impact Group?
So I would say for myself, I actually help leaders and entrepreneurs uncover their purpose within the work that they do. Ultimately, that is the total and complete goal of it all. So being able to go and speak to people primarily, and being able to go and have sessions and workshops. And then I do clarity calls with people, and those are free. And then I also have a purpose to impact starter guide online too, that they can actually go through too. And I intentionally made it so simplistic because I don't like reading 10 pages before I can do something. Like, tell me what I need to do now. So literally one of the first things is what you can do now.
Right.
And so you can actually go through it and start from 1 week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks of what you can actually physically start doing now. And so that's the goal. I want to see people better, especially people within my own community. I want to see them grow, and I want to see them better, and I want to see us work together. And if I can give and teach what I have learned throughout this process without somebody else having to go through the stuff that I went through, then I will do it all day long. So that's the goal.
That's fine.
So with you having 18-year-old, what are you teaching her as far as her journey? Like, what is your guidance for her?
Well, she says that it's a lesson every day. She'd be sick of me. I'm not gonna lie. She's like, everything's a lesson. And that's because when we go through daily life and when something happens, I'm like,
you learn every day.
Yep. Yes. Do you understand why this happened? Yes. Explain to me what you saw in this moment. And then she'll explain, and she's like, yeah. And I said, right. So you have to be careful when you're doing these things. You can do this and you can go this direction, but I need you to be aware of what's going to happen if you go in this direction. Go in this direction, just be aware of what will happen, but make your choice.
Yes.
And so this is what every day looks like for me. Like like a natural teacher. And so when I see something, I'm automatically like, what do we learn from this? What does that look like? How can we do better in the future? How can we grow? So I'm all about elevating. I tell her all the time, I'm like, I don't mind if you make mistakes. Make mistakes, please.
For life.
Don't make the same one. Is all I ask. Just don't keep making the same mistake over and over again. And she definitely made a new one. She wrecked my car a month ago. And so we went through that. So we're good though. We got
She'll be catching Ubers for now.
Nobody came here limping.
No.
Glad
So
she's
it's
okay,
stuff
though.
like that. Yeah, no, she's perfectly fine. But it's things like that that I, even as an adult, I'm like, I'm okay with making mistakes. I'm gonna make mistakes, so I can't be down on myself for making mistakes. I wouldn't be human if I didn't make mistakes. So I'm okay with that. It's like, what did I learn from this? Am I doing the same thing over and over again? Or am I actually doing something different in order to get a different result?
I do an activity with my son every day when I pick him up from school.
Really?
I ask him what's 3 things he learned. I asked him what's 2 things that he could have did better. And I asked him what's 1 thing he's going to intentionally do the next day. And through those he's 13, through those conversations, it's like I seen him go from like being in his shell. First of all, like he'll go like, what you learned today when we first started? Like, oh, I learned math. It's like, well, what did you learn in the math? But now it's like, what you learned today? And he like, oh, I did this and this. And it's making him more expressive. So
That's
like
good.
being able to have those conversations with kids, I think that's like key for parents nowadays.
You have to be
because
intentional.
You have to be intentional because with social media, it goes back, they're in their phones 24/7, you know, and it's like, how can we break them away from the scroll to where it's like you get those intentional conversations as parents? So
you have to be broken from the scroll. So it starts there.
That's true too. That's true too. I had to break myself.
Oh, it's
I did. Nah, but I really did. Like I have to go like waking up in the morning, like intentionally not picking up my phone until I've checked all my emails, till I've talked to my wife, till I talk to my kids. Like it's like 11 o'clock before I really start scrolling. Like I make sure that that's one thing I don't do. And before I go to bed at night, like that's another key because we're consuming all those thoughts. I was reading something or watching a video and it was saying like, if you're scrolling on Instagram for 5 minutes, you're getting over 1,000 different images in your mind that your mind cannot process. So when you go to bed at night and you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, that's why a lot of times people having these crazy dreams that don't make sense to them because our dreams are just our thoughts and things that's inside of us. And some of this stuff is inside of us that we didn't even know we saw.
You're like consuming other people's thoughts.
Other people's thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like
that's crazy.
My son, I had to tell him like, don't be on TikTok watching videos at 0.2. Like who started that?
What is it?
They speed up the 0.5.
Like 0.5.
Like they speed it up and
because
it's like,
their attention span is too short.
Stop that! Like take that off TikTok. Like
for real. Like
who
started that?
Who told them to do that? Because I just looked up one day and it's like
I didn't even know they were thing, y'all.
Bro, that's a thing for middle school kids, like and maybe high school, but like he's watching those videos and I'm like, dude, what did he say? He like, I don't know. I'm just trying to get the watch it a little bit, get to the end of it.
I think that now that you say that out loud, I think that's like that is like speeding up like our dopamine levels because you're trying to hurry up and get to like the end. Like nobody wants to watch and that's why they say like our attention span has dropped to 5 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds. So they say like even when you're creating content, you have to capture somebody's mind within the first 3 to 5. You have to in 3 to 5 seconds.
That's quick.
You have to say something outlandish
or take your shirt off.
Or take your shirt off. But you don't do that if you're fit, guys. You don't do that if you're fit, guys.
You promote protein. You got a protein brand?
Guys, you can only do that if you're fit. So
pick up the Mazi protein
today. You get my 7-day workout plan.
Yeah.
You know, because you can only do it. But like I'm starting to like understand certain content creators now. Like one that is like very, very excellent at that is Charleston White. He says the most outlandish things, but I understand it now because you do have to, if I come on here and I'm trying to explain something to somebody and I'm taking like, even now, like I'm trying to explain it. Somebody will see this clip and they'll scroll past it, but I'll come here and say something like off the wall and it hits a pain point first. Like, okay, well, you're gonna be stuck working at Amazon because you don't want to boom boom. And then now the people at Amazon or at those type of jobs, I'm like, damn, I have been here for like 2 years, bro. Now they feeling hit or they feeling targeted. And so now they're more inclined to listen rather than if I'm taking my, come here, hey, the easiest way, even that can hit. You know, the easiest way, the fastest way.
People want something easy. They want something fast
and easy, you know? So, but
for real.
I've noticed like them first 3 to 5 seconds is just crazy, like how fast our attention span just dropping. In a minute, boy, we're going to be 1 second, huh?
Nah,
that's insane.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's too long. That's too long. 3 minute video. Oh, that's too long. That's too long. That's too long.
Yep.
But that's why that
real.
0.5 be like, man, I don't want to hear all this shit.
Speed it up.
Speed it up.
Yeah.
0.5.
Take that off TikTok though. For real.
It's not gonna happen.
They gonna have something else, boy.
But I will advocate with you.
Nah, facts. They
gonna have something else.
So go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like it's just the overall structure of TikTok. I think it's TikTok overall.
Yeah.
I think
What's
they
wrong?
have.
I don't like TikTok.
You don't?
I feel like it's spam. It's spam. Like I feel spammed every
Yes.
time I get on there. It's just it's overwhelming.
Yes.
Well, probably because I grew up on Instagram too, though, and so it's more polished and it's clean. It's pictures. It's little videos. You get on TikTok, I'm just like, oh my god.
Look, I was on TikTok one day and I accidentally scrolled to the right and didn't know that I was on like the shopping section.
yes.
It was just live after live selling. Do you want to get these sheets? Do you want to get these beds? I got rims. I got paint. I'm like, what the heck? Where am I at? I'm like, let me get up off this, man. Let me get off this, man. Yeah.
You are not lying,
no, for
though.
real, it's like you go through that, it's like, how am I? And
You can get
everybody's
stuck.
live selling something.
You
like,
get stuck.
you get stuck, bro.
Or it's like the little games, bro, where it's like it's like a little bar at the top. And I don't know what they do, bro, but it's like to see how many people can like
hit the button,
like, hit the button, and you be like competing with people.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like
not
so
on
many.
there enough.
TikTok is a crazy
Yeah,
place.
it's a dangerous
It's an insane
place.
world.
It's a
Nah, for
dangerous
sure,
place.
for sure. Shout out to YouTube though. Yeah,
But I
shout
think,
out.
man, shout out to YouTube. I think TikTok has. It's a good and a bad, right? Because it has opened up a way. It's a great marketing tool.
Yeah.
It's a great advertising platform. Like if you actually have something going on outside of TikTok, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect because it can give you the exposure you need. But the downside of it is it can give you exposure that you don't need because there's so many people like get
true.
famous on there for nothing.
Yeah.
No.
And in their mind, they believe that they're famous.
Yeah.
Now in
That's
your
true.
world, who am I to tell you that you're not? But at the same time, it's like, so it's
Things be hitting that you don't even know are gonna hit though, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It just happened to me because I don't post on TikTok often. I was trying to be real cute on TikTok and it did not work.
nah, you gotta be
right.
like
Yeah, you gotta be
like-
super regular, almost homeless
Regular.
looking
Yeah.
on TikTok, like for real, like for real.
Homeless.
it's a girl on there that I don't even know her name, so it ain't gonna be no hit to her. But she's obviously obese, but she just eats on TikTok, and I'm talking about like she had like 2 Chipotle bowls, and both of them were like this high,
Dang.
and she's like eating them, bro. And people are watching, obviously getting the views, so that it's like that. I think that's what it is,
What?
like that attention, like that attention. Like I
Like
don't think
people.
people really want money no more.
Oh, they
People
want
want the
attention.
attention. Yeah.
So like getting them views in her mind, she's like, oh well,
They getting things
Yeah.
they didn't get when they were growing up.
exactly.
Basically.
She
Talk
big,
about
she just-
that, like what you mean by that? They getting things that they didn't get when they was growing up.
You know, because obviously I talk to people about this all the time, and I'll give you an example. So it's one guy I know. Hopefully he won't know what I'm talking about, but
She's not talking about that.
We're talking about you, buddy.
James, we'll call him James.
we'll call him James.
Yeah.
So James was in middle child and slowly blowing up on TikTok, and now is completely overwhelmed because he feels like he has to answer everything and talk to everybody and enjoys the attention but now he's completely overwhelmed because he's like, I can't like answer everybody. And he was like, I replied to a girl I didn't even like. I didn't even think was cute, but she gave me attention. And I said, yeah, you have a problem.
Yeah.
But honestly, he did say he has mom issues.
Yeah.
So ultimately, this is what it is, and that's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's man. I don't know how we got on this. Excuse me, my bad.
We done went
but-
to a little rabbit hole, bro. We went down
And
rabbit
look,
hole.
Sorry.
that's what TikTok does.
See?
It takes you
It is a
down
rabbit
a
hole.
rabbit hole.
And my
Because
biggest video was I posted of salsa class I went to. It was like a salsa event. Why was it the highest one I had?
Was it polished?
No.
See what I'm saying? That's the crazy part.
And then especially like it's like I don't know if the phone knows, but it's like soon as like 12 a.m. or 11 p.m. hits, that's when you find like the craziest video. And that's when you go down a rabbit hole because you be laying there, you be like,
Yeah,
really?
what the fuck is this? Like, when did this come out? I didn't even know this happened. And it's like you
really down the rabbit hole.
Now you deep in the rabbit hole. Now you done found some stuff out about your granddaddy you didn't even know.
Granddaddy.
LT, pull us out this rabbit hole. Before we get out of here, man. This has been, I just want to say this. This has been a great conversation.
Yes.
Like we do a lot of interviews, right?
Yeah.
But this didn't feel like an interview. This was like a real conversation.
Yes. Really?
We appreciate you for
Am I your favorite?
You are favorite. Yeah, you our favorite. You our favorite. She our favorite. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. No, this has been great. Like it's been like and I know you say you're not a therapist, but it's been like a real therapy session.
Yeah.
Like you have helped me in just this conversation of like, dang, do I really care? I really do kind of care about what people saying. Like I mask it by saying, I don't care what they say. I don't care. But like as you talking and as I was talking to Mazi and as we asking questions, it's like, dang, hold on. Like, yeah, I really do kind of care. So it's going to make me go back and like discover some things about myself that I didn't know. So I appreciate you for that. For real. I appreciate you. And you almost made my boy cry, I thought.
Yeah.
I wanted you to keep going. Like, just dig a little bit.
Minute.
No, you should.
I'm telling you, it's like, I don't know. I feel like like when you shake that big ass little soda bar, but that top is on. It's tight. It's tight.
Ready to explode.
It's tight. It's tight. But like I said, I don't know. I ain't had a good cry, man.
You gonna cry?
Yeah,
tonight.
You should.
You gonna cry in the car? You gonna cry in the car? You gonna cry in the car?
Nah, it's been good. It's been needed. So, like I said, it's some stuff that some people that you've helped that I've noticed in some areas that I'm like, damn, like I done this shit too, or I'm doing this, or I need to work on this. So
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
I'm good at what I do. Humble brag, as y'all told me.
Humble brag. So look, this is your moment to humble brag. You know what I'm saying? That's her term. She coined it. Humble brag. Don't try to take it. LT will sue you.
Yeah.
And we got her back. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So look, before we get out of here, we like to do something where we call our Can I Be Real moments, right? So where, it's somebody out there that's watching this and that really needs some encouragement. You know what I mean? They going through some hard times right now. That's your camera right there. If you can look into that camera and encourage them to get through whatever they're going through.
Yeah. So a lot of times we think that we're the only ones going through the things that we are going through in the moments that we're going through them. But there are so many people going through the same things, dealing with the same things, and feel as though they have no hope. I just want to say that you have hope where you are, that you are loved where you are, and that I was about to pray in Jesus' name. So, and that you are not alone. I would suggest finding a community of people that can walk through your journey with you, and you be able to actually see yourself for who you are. You are great, you are loved, and you are better than you think that you are. So I would say walk in that moment, walk in your purpose, walk in your journey, walk in your clarity, and begin to have that action so you can have greater impact within the world.
Look, let them know where they can find you in.
Well, I am LT Hunt. I'm the founder of Creative Impact Group. You can find me at Creative Impact Speaking on IG, or you can go to my website, creativeimpactgroup.org. You can also download my Purpose to Impact guide, where it helps you go through practical steps in order to start today and begin your journey today. And through that and on that website as well, you can also book me for sessions, conferences, and workshops in order to help you find your journey and the purpose and have the hope in the work that you're doing now.
Yep. And she can help you to cry.
Yeah,
we're gonna get you there.
We're gonna make you cry. We're gonna make you cry. Hey,
I appreciate this for sure. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys for having me. It's been good. For real.
Yeah. This is. Yeah, this was good. This was good, man.
We love doing this. So, you know what I'm saying? It's easy work for us. It's easy work for us.
Nah, for sure.
It's that second mountain. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you have you read that book?
I haven't. I should read that.
You should read it.
Okay.
Second mountain.
Second mountain.
Second mountain. Everybody has a second mountain.
This is good. Can I just say real quick before we wrap up? Because I actually really appreciate you guys. I didn't expect to give an encouraging word. I did not realize that. But when I say for you all to have that moment and to be able to give people that, you have no idea how that can actually impact someone and change their lives and change their hopes and change their dreams and visions that they see of themselves. So you all are doing such great work.
Thank you.
So very proud.
We appreciate that.
Thank you. Listen, I know you got a prayer in you because I know you heard you say you was about to slip it out. You know what I'm saying? Before we go though, hey, like, comment, share,
Yeah.
But if you can close us out with a good old one of them good old prayers.
And don't cut this video off because you talking about some you don't believe.
Yeah.
No.
Stay right here.
Stay right here.
Stay here.
Okay, believe in the corn god. Buddha.
Yeah.
Shaka Zulu.
Yeah.
Muhammad.
Hey,
whoever.
we all need a blessing.
We all need
a blessing. So, Father, we come to you in the name of Jesus. We thank you right now for your grace and for your mercy and for your forgiveness, Lord. We thank you that we were able to come together to speak into people's lives and that they see you in the work that they do, that they see you in the work that we are doing now. And we come to you right now thanking you and thanking you for the confidence and for the grace for us to be able to be here and to do this and be successful in the things that we do. We thank you that you are so gracious and you are so loving and you are so kind. And I ask, Lord, that you show your mercy and you show your grace and you give your kindness and encapsulate them with your love as we go. And as we are here today, one another, we stand together. In Jesus' name, we pray in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Encapsulate.
Encapsulate.
That was smooth.
The doors of the